Hi everyone, I'm Will and I'm excited to be partnering with Banggood to review some fantastic tools that will elevate your joinery game, especially if you are a fan of the Festool Domino. And that's coming up right now on WH Creations. Banggood recently got in touch with me to see whether I'd be interested in reviewing some of their brand new tools. They ended up sending over a great selection of tools and accessories, and I want to share with you my thoughts on each of them. First up, we have the 1500mm guide rail for the Festool Domino. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret. The first time I actually saw this tool, I had no idea what it is or what it does. I'm still relatively new to the Festool system, and this seemingly simple accessory left me scratching my head, along with the other guy that I share the workshop with. But after some research and some hands-on use, it all became clear. And in reality, it's a bit of a game changer for speeding up mortise cuts, especially for cabinet makers who churn out numerous pieces of identical size. The kit includes 5 300mm extruded aluminium rails with both imperial and metric measurements etched along their length for quick layout. These rails connect using dedicated pieces to reach the full 1500mm length. And unfortunately I was missing a few of the screws in the kit, so this limited the extension. The locking screws have a through hole which I use with an Allen key to attach it to the rail, creating a tight and secure connection. Multiple stops can fit into the grooves along the guide rail, allowing you to mark precise locations for your mortises. These stops lock down firmly using the thumb screws. The large foot plate connects to the Festool Domino using its dedicated attachment points. Remember, before attaching the foot plate, ensure that the height plate on the Festool is raised and locked. The kit comes with a variety of spacers depending on the kind of thicknesses of your piece, again featuring both metric and imperial options. These spacers are secured to the plate using 2 sets of machine screws. To ensure that I could use the jig in both left and right orientations, I took some time to find the absolute centre of a rail before attaching it to the plate. I would have loved to have seen an easier centering method, perhaps a dedicated stop block or a zero reference point on the guide rail itself. The screws attaching the foot plate protrude slightly, potentially causing an issue if I'm going to be referencing the jig on a flat surface, and I might even consider re-drilling these if they do become too much of an issue. First, I inserted a connector to attach additional rails, extending the reach for larger pieces. With my test piece of wood, I used the guide ruler to set a few flip down stops. The first domino mortise is set using the existing stops on the domino itself. Additional mortises are then made by simply flipping down the stops on the guide rail as you move the domino along the rails. Once one side is complete, I can simply release the guide rail and flip it to be used on the right hand side, mirroring the first set of mortise locations. This allows for quick and precise cuts on the next set of mortises. So who is going to be using this jig? Well, ultimately it's going to be used by people regularly making large amounts of cabinets or units of a similar size. While it does require some initial setup time, once configured you can cut multiple domino mortises with zero layout lines or any risk of misalignment. This translates to significant time savings and improved efficiency, particularly for cabinet makers and unit manufacturers. Now, as you may already know, I don't tend to make a lot of cabinets, but when I do, this tool is going to come in extremely handy, and it's great to have in my arsenal of accessories when the need arises. Next up is the 760mm aluminium T-square. As a big fan of accurate marking, I already own a similar T-square and absolutely love its functionality. This one boasts a clean design and a sturdy aluminium construction, making it a reliable companion for any workshop project. One of the most valuable features of this T-square is the included fence with location pins. These pins help you achieve perfect squareness between the ruler and the fence. Bit of a crucial aspect of any T-square, I suppose. To double check the squareness, you can utilise the MDF trick. simply lay the T-square flat on a known square piece of MDF and draw a line along the ruler. Flip the T-square over and draw another line. If the lines perfectly overlap, your T-square is perfectly square. And don't worry if it doesn't align perfectly the first time round. All you need to do is loosen off those screws, and when adjusted, simply tighten the screws back up and do this trick over again. You may need to do this a couple of times until you get the alignment absolutely spot on. I did encounter a minor issue. After a few days of use, I noticed some of the screws had come slightly loose. Thankfully, a quick tighten with the included Allen key sorted this problem. Another point to consider is the size of the marking holes. They're a bit on the small side and work best with a mechanical pencil. This might not be ideal for everyone, especially those who prefer using regular pencils or markers. The good news, however, is that this T-square comes in a range of sizes to suit different project needs. Whether you're working on smaller detail pieces or larger furniture builds, there's a size out there that will perfectly complement your workflow. The 760mm aluminium T-square is a fantastic tool for achieving accurate marking lines on your projects. The location pins for easy squaring and that sturdy aluminium construction make it a reliable choice. Just keep in mind the potential need to retighten the screws and the size of the marking holes when selecting this tool for your workshop. Next up are these metric setup blocks. And if you're tired of using a ruler and struggling to achieve the perfect doweling heights for your router or table saw, these little guys are about to change your life. One of the first things that impressed me was the included storage box. It keeps the blocks organised and prevents them from getting lost in the clutter of your workshop. The set boasts a comprehensive range of sizes, starting from 1mm all the way up to 50mm. With all of the blocks measuring 100mm width. The wide range caters to most common height adjustments that you'll need in your woodworking projects. But what sets these metric setup blocks apart is their modular design. You can easily combine multiple blocks to achieve any precise height you require. Need to set your router to 23mm? Simply stack the 18mm and 4mm blocks together. This eliminates the need for fiddling with a ruler and multiple measurements, saving you time and frustration. Overall, these metric setup blocks are an absolute game changer, especially for achieving precise height adjustments on your router and table saw. The organised storage, comprehensive size range and modular design make them an essential tool for any woodworker who values their time and efficiency. The final tool in this review video is the one that actually piqued my interest the most. The 3-in-1 Doweling Jig. I initially saw this featured on the YouTube channel Casual DIY and it instantly grabbed my attention. Unlike other dowel jigs I've wrestled with in the past, this one promised a game-changing experience. Let's see if it actually lives up to that hype. Right off the bat, I was really impressed with the build quality. Just like the other tools from Banggood in this review, this jig feels incredibly sturdy and well made. The materials used inspire confidence, suggesting it can handle the rigours of everyday woodworking tasks. The beauty of this 3-in-1 doweling jig lies in its versatility. It caters to various doweling needs, eliminating the requirement for multiple specialised jigs. Here's a breakdown of its capabilities. The jig comes with drill bushings for various drill bit sizes, allowing you to create perfectly centered dowel holes for different sized dowel pins. The included dowel pins act as a guide, ensuring consistent spacings between your dowel holes. This is incredibly useful for achieving precise alignment when joining multiple pieces of wood together. This jig even goes a step further by including a router bit specifically designed for creating cam and lock dowel joinery, a common method in flat pack furniture. Precision is key when it comes to doweling, and this jig delivers. The adjustable fence features a ridge back that acts as a positive stop, ensuring perfectly straight and parallel setups. Each ridge movement equals exactly 2mm, making adjustments quick and easy. For this demonstration, I'm using an 18mm thick piece of plywood. I set the jig to 10mm using the fence, and you also get a 1mm spacing plate that attaches using magnets. This allows me to fine tune the final distance to 9mm, exactly half the thickness of the plywood. Finally, I secured the jig firmly in place by screwing down the front clamps. And here's where the magic happens. For the first drill hole, I simply line up the side of the jig flush with the edge of my workpiece. The jig offers multiple drill locations, allowing me to choose the perfect starting point. The included drill bits come with a depth stop, and these are far superior to the ones that I've used in the past. This eliminates the risk of drilling too deep and damaging your workpiece. Once the first hole is drilled, the process gets even easier. I can simply move the jig along the workpiece using the fence as a guide. The 8mm dowel pin on this jig fits perfectly into the first drilled hole, ensuring consistent spacing for subsequent holes. This way, there's zero need for additional marking. After completing the first side, moving to the adjoining piece is a breeze. Since I initially centered the jig on the wood, mirroring the drill locations on the second piece is quick and easy. So what do you do if you need to drill dowel locations in the center of a board? Simply disassemble the jig, leaving only the drill bushings. Now this is where utilising the 760mm aluminium T-square comes in handy. I can lay it down onto the wood and create the perfect centre line. Now line up the jig centre line with the marked line on your workpiece, and then clamp down the first piece of wood that we've already drilled the dowels in. With the first piece secured, insert the dowels into the original holes. These dowels now act as a clever guide for the jig itself. Simply locate the jig using the corresponding dowel positions. This ensures perfect alignment as you drill. Repeat this process to move the jig along and drill out the remaining dowel holes in the centre of the board. By utilising the dowels as a guide, you achieve perfect dowel placements even in the centre of a board, eliminating the need for additional marking or measuring. Overall, this 3-in-1 doweling jig is a fantastic addition to any workshop, especially for those who work frequently with dowel joinery. Its versatility eliminates the need for multiple jigs, saving both space and money. The excellent build quality, coupled with its friendly user features and budget-friendly price, makes this a truly compelling option. Thank you very much for staying until the end of the video. I hope you found it enjoyable, and if you have, please do give me a thumbs up, and if you're feeling very generous, make sure to go over and give me a subscribe too, so you are notified every time I release a new video. And if you've been inspired by any of the tools in this review, I'll leave all the links to where you can get one for yourself down in the video description. A huge thanks to Banggood for sending me all of these tools to review and to share with you. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you have too. I'll see you again soon.